Welcome, everybody, to Game of Thrones by Scrumptious Unscripted. This episode, we will be discussing Sons of the Harpy. And what a discussion it's going to be. With me, as always, the good Sir Pappy.
Hi.
Yeah, I need an adult.
Yeah, I finished this episode about 40 minutes before you did, so I've had plenty of time to cry.
That's good. I'm glad you got your gentle weeping done.
I didn't say anything about it being gentle.
Well, at least you had time. Here I am, fresh 5 minutes. Yeah. I'm still in the shock phase of, I'm hitting the denial phase a little bit. I'm where I was with the Hound. I'm like, no, they're fine. They're fine.
Yep, that spreading pool of blood was just...
It was all the other people. No, it was all the other people. They're fine.
He had a pitcher of Kool-Aid on his back. It broke when he fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you run around with all that Dornish wine strapped to yourself. It leaks when it gets stabbed, because they didn't get stabbed.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
So yeah, this is the first time of this season that I am regretting them moving away from the books.
A little bit.
So, a little bit of, hey, that's not what... no.
You know, I'm upset. I'm very much upset. I mean,
but it's Game of Thrones. They've just done their job.
It's so hard to stay mad, because it's like, that's the show. No, but you know what? I'm still mad about it. I'm trying to be an optimist right now, and I'm like, what better way to get our badass dragon mama back than killing her homies?
No, severely injuring her homies, because they're fine.
But I'm a realist.
On the plus side, they took out, 15 times their number?
Yeah, they 300 style, man. Let me play some Bon Jovi in the background. Blaze of glory.
Before we actually get into the episode in chronological order, I just want to point out that the only thing about that whole scene that really pissed me off was they had literally run through a doorway. Why? You have spears and shields. Why not back up to same doorway and force them to come at you two at a time, instead of standing there and being surrounded? The doorway was still there. I feel that my only criticism with this episode is that they had to make the most well-trained military arm go full retard in order for this to be a success.
Yeah. Because that was my thought process up until trauma. We're just going to talk the trauma. The damages, the trauma. Up until that moment, I was like, damn. She did not get what she didn't pay for. Because she burned the guy she bought him from. So I'm assuming, transaction-wise, she didn't pay for him.
Yeah, and they're well-renowned. The Unsullied are well-renowned for defending their original city. Which one was that? Whatever. The city she bought them from.
Yeah.
I'm too traumatized to remember nouns.
I can't. The one that burned.
That just a few hundred of them staved off a Dothraki invasion. It was like the 300, basically. It was a few hundred Unsullied versus tens of thousands of Dothraki, and the Dothraki gave up. And they can't cover a goddamn doorway.
They can't cover a doorway, and these Sons of the Harpy are running around, and they're maybe slaves, maybe mercenaries, but they're not trained. They're really hyping them up as this in-town militia. Yeah.
Yeah, when you outnumber your enemies, 20 to 1, 10 to 1, you're more likely to win. And that's the whole point, showing that how many Sons of the Harpy there are, and at least they're smart enough to attack, from the shadows with numbers. But still, man, you're the Unsullied. Don't be stupid.
Get your shit together, so I don't have to be upset. God.
All right, anyhow, so up to the top, Sons of the Harpy.
Scroll back, rewind. Because this is where everybody's going to stop listening to this episode. We just lost our whole audience right there. Oh, they talked about that first. We don't have to listen anymore.
Yeah, yep. Oh.
Done.
Well, hey, so I'm having a nice little morning. I got a nice catch.
Yeah, catch of the day.
Catch of the day, and then kabong.
Well, he did throw some coins on him.
Yeah, thanks, Jorah. I appreciate you paying me for stealing my fucking livelihood.
That dude's so boned. But I digress. At least his boat was used for what I'm going to call the greater good, because I'm so happy. And I won't count this as a point, because it's not a point. Just Tyrion and I are on the same wavelength here of, you dumb shit, I was going there anyway, idiot.
Well, as you can tell, Jorah doesn't really give a shit.
Oh, you can't sleep without wine? How about with 5 fingers to the face?
Yeah, this is pretty much going to sum up our adventures of Jorah and Tyrion. No matter how intelligently and pragmatically Tyrion tries to explain his situation, Jorah is basically going to sum it up with,
grunt, punch.
Yeah, Jorah is single-minded, and he doesn't really give a shit. And, I mean, I don't blame him. He's been backstabbed technically twice now by the crown.
Yeah.
So why trust a Lannister now?
I'm 100% behind his, you know what, shut the fuck up. That's enough out of you. I don't even care. I'm going to do this. It's going to work out the way I want it to. He's like me. He's super optimistic and slightly violent. Violence solves problems.
Especially punching dwarves. It just makes you feel better, apparently.
Yeah, it's good for the soul or something. I mean, I don't know personally, but I would imagine it's quite liberating.
Yeah, but that's about it from them, right? We see...
Yeah, that they had very little screen time, so I'm going to give very little time talking about them. That's it. Moving on.
On to Jaime and Bronn.
My favorite tag team duo. Think how great it would be if they were in, like, the WWE. They would be an awesome tag team.
Well, no, because Bronn would have to do most of the fighting.
Well, yeah, but that's like most of the tag teams.
That's
like
a good point.
Last time I watched WWE, which was ages ago, but, you know.
It is funny that Jaime still hasn't lost a certain amount of his royal snarkiness, you know. Oh, well, you know, I can't help fight because I only have one arm. Oh, I can't help dig because I only have one arm.
There were so many...
Hold my dick because I only have one arm to pee.
Yeah, I was going to say, there were so many dickhand jokes in this episode alone. Oh, are you tired rowing this boat, bro? Sorry, one hand.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Well, that hand served a purpose, saved his life.
I don't know why. Well, okay, I guess I can kind of understand because you're not used to that hand being non-perishable by sword, so your instinct is not to throw it in the line of fire. But I really thought for most of that fight, I'm like, come on.
Just whack the guy with it.
Yeah, like punch you have a golden hand. That's gotta hurt.
In retrospect, it might have made more sense to have him a hand fashioned as a fist, and he could have actually utilized that in fighting. You know, especially if no one knew who he was. Like, hey, I'm gonna throw a punch at you, and the guy's like, whatever, dong.
I feel like he should just have interchangeable ones, because every time he held it up to Braun, every time he held it up with the like, oh, I'm sorry, it should have just been a big middle finger. Like, sorry, can't do it. And then he can change to his fist hand for fighting or other nefarious things that we won't go into.
Yeah, and it was fun to see that. And I did like how it was predicted, you know, oh, how do you know he's not going to betray you? I paid him. How do you know he's not going to betray you? Oh.
I paid him a lot. Oh.
So do we want to jump onto the sand snakes there or save them for a minute?
We'll jump out of the sand snakes.
Yeah, I finally get introduced to 3 of them, and I'm happy. And I actually did watch a little bit of the making of episode after the episode. Ooh. And that answered the question I was too lazy to look up myself. Only the youngest is her daughter, and the other 2 are just daughters of daddy with different mothers. So... yeah, the young one with short hair is the only one. I figured it was going to be some bastard situation here. All of them. I mean, he was a man of many flavors.
Neapolitan, if you will.
So, yeah, the short-haired girl is the only true daughter of, what were you calling her? Queen Emo?
Well, now she's going to be Snake Mama, I think.
Mama. Okay.
Yeah.
And I could be completely wrong, and feel free to correct me, audience, but I'm pretty sure the youngest is the one who works with poisons. Because we saw the other 2's, you know, the spear and the whip. I think the youngest one is the poison master. But again, I'd have to actually reread that section or, and research it. And right now I'm too traumatized to care.
She could be the master of scorpions.
Like Ant-Man in that universe.
She can just summon scorpions.
Well, and I think that's why I think that actually might be the good hint that she's the one who masters poison. Because, scorpions, poisonous, all that.
Yeah, venom. So I feel they all got their licks in on another poor boatman. Bad episode to be a... to
have a ship.
Yeah, to have any sort of watercraft. This is just not your time.
take Jaime Lannister's money and then try and, betray him, because obviously the Sand Snakes are a little too angry to listen to that so much as just take what they want and then murder your face.
Well, I would think if you were the captain in that situation, as soon as they put you in a hole of sand up to your neck, you knew you weren't coming out of it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he already told them anyway at that point. They were like, well, we can't let you go away anymore now that we know that you can't be trusted.
If you're getting buried or really, held captive and tortured for any length of time, optimism kind of goes out the window for your odds.
And you got to realize that they may be angry over the death of their father, but they still think of themselves as honorable people. So here's a guy who was willing to backstab somebody he made an agreement with. Why would they let him go? What would stop him from tattling on them?
There was no hope for that man. So with that said, he died in a hole. Speaking of people I wish would die in a hole, Cersei! Cersei is getting a little bit... I'm seeing her chessboard.
Yeah. Let me let you have the power you need to do what I want while still allowing me to have plausible deniability.
Yeah, she's gone full NSA on...
Yeah, and we are seeing that her son is very weak-willed.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what really shows how ineffectual he is. When he had the opportunity, when he went to try to address the Sparrows, he could have tried to talk to them. He could have tried to make peace. Instead, he just stood around, quivered, and ran away.
Well, there were a couple of angles working there. You have the general populace who pretty much has a good idea that he's not a Baratheon at this point.
Well, at that point, the word has gotten around so much.
It's not confirmed to the public.
Yeah, but they hate Cersei so much, they hate the Lannisters, they're going to believe that gives them an excuse to keep hating.
Exactly.
The older brother didn't exactly endear himself either.
Yeah, Joffrey did nothing good for the greater family image there.
Yeah, so we get to see just how ineffective he is. Even with Marjorie, she couldn't even use her vagina.
She tried, though.
Yeah, and then I like how she kind of washed her hands of him, like, well, you're useless.
I don't know so much if it's useless. I take it more as she's making the play of, well, you'll just have to figure out who's more important to you.
Speaking of play, though, notice how Cersei has systematically gotten rid of any potential voice of dissent or reason in her council.
Well, that sums it up right there because you called it her council.
Well, and also specifically, she got rid of Daddy. Marjorie's father is now out of the picture, so she's now free to move on Marjorie without any until it's too late.
I'm very concerned for Marjorie. Unless Grandma Rose gets back to the capital with haste, she's kind of fucked right here.
Well, here's the thing, though, and this is something I'm going to point out. What's his nuts? The guy who became a sparrow, her Lancel, yeah, Sir Lancel.
Yeah,
he got his nice little forehead brand and arrested Marjorie's brother.
Got a haircut, got a brand. He's going through his rebel phase. Got a haircut, got a tattoo.
Remember, though, and just tuck this in the back of your mind, he spent most of season 2 banging Cersei.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's part of a group that hates anything sinful, and he personally knows that Cersei is full of sin.
Yeah.
So I'm personally hoping that Cersei oversteps her boundaries, tries to make the militants do more than their stated goal of, making everyone miserable.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a distinct feeling with that type of group and their belief structure that she just opened Pandora's box.
Yeah, they're too simplistic to be manipulated.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. Well, I mean, honestly, I kind of thought about a little bit in Afghanistan. When we helped the Mujahideen, and then they came to power and they made it an Islamic state where all the rules of no fun will ever be had ever. And that's kind of what's going on here. You're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to hoard, you're not allowed to, I don't know, maybe they're beating the minstrels too, for all we know.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little off-put when she's doing her whole spiel with the High Sparrow and she's like, yeah. My understanding is, and I could be wrong, I'm not all up on the religions of Westeros by any stretch of the imagination, But aren't the Silent Sisters like the nuns of the clergy, if you will?
They're the ones who clear the dead. They're the ones who prepare the dead. They've taken a vow of silence. So anywhere at a battlefield or at anyone who dies, they go to the Silent Sisters for preparation and burial.
So why are you out there? Okay,
I really didn't understand that either. I
don't get it.
I think what she was saying was that Silent Sisters were being raped and churches were being burned down, and this could be prevented by restoring the Ordo Militant. I think that's what they meant. It just didn't come off. It came out confusing.
The way it came out was like the sparrows were raping and burning.
It was kind of a poor dialogue setup.
Because I'm just like, well, wait, doesn't that fundamentally go against everything that you're fundamentalists over? I just, I mean, hypocrites are everywhere, but God, you're raping the nuns. Like, have some class.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was, hey, this is happening, but hey, we could save it by restoring that order that we banished 200 years ago for good fucking reason, because you set yourselves above the laws of the realm. And we couldn't have that because it was creating a serious issue whenever you have a police force and a religious force. So there's a reason they've been banned for 200 years. But hey, it'll help me with my little petty hatreds. So let's just fuck everything up for everybody.
It'll help me snark in court. And that is the most important thing to be able to do.
That's what I'm liking, is we're seeing just how myopically short-sighted Cersei is.
Yeah. Her chessboard is totally visible, and she's played all her moves and left herself very open on this. But to that effect, even though she may end up getting everything she wants out of it, but I just don't think she's getting out of it clean. Well, but I don't rightly know she cares.
Speaking of making your moves, moving north.
I see what you did there.
And leaving yourself open. So how about that lack of subtlety?
Wow, yeah. That was just like, hi, this is my vagina, and that is your face.
Yep, everyone's favorite Red Witch returns with her breasts, because we haven't seen them all season, and I feel that she's contractually obligated to try and seduce a man with, full frontal nudity every episodes. I feel that this is another just a poor attempt, though. I mean, they've been there long enough to know Jon Snow, and to really, you think that, hey, do everything we want because I'll have sex with you. Did you really think that was going to work?
I'm pretty sure she did, because it seems to have worked swimmingly for her up to this point.
Although the you-know-nothing Jon Snow thing was pretty clever. I had to give it that.
I'm very curious, because she is the great...
magic.
She is. She's the great enigma for me. Like, she is just working some juju where if I were there, I would be like, oh my God, you're the most magical person I've ever met. And we know from her talking to Stannis' wife in the whole bathtub scene last season that she's not super magical. Like, she's got her she's an illusionist. She's got her potions, she's got her tricks. But at that same point, I don't care what potion you're taking, Shadow Baby has made me a skeptic as to like how much is fiction versus fact. How much is conjured and how much is just straight up some real crazy shit going down.
Yeah. All of it is crazy shit. Or the other theory is that, Jon's dead girlfriend was a redhead, Melisandre's a redhead, gingers have no soul, therefore they can communicate after death. I don't know.
Or how about this? Let me lay this theory on you. That because gingers in general, so rare on a percentage scale for like world population, that maybe they all just share one soul and it's like twin telepathy type thing. They can all just tune into each other at any given point.
And for any gingers who may be listening, we are joking. We know you're redheads. We're not mean, angry people. It's just funny to us.
It is.
So anyhow, but on a lighter note up north, Stannis showed half an emotion.
I know, we had so many.
I love the awkward hug, though. Oh my God.
The awkward hug was amazing. I was yelling at the TV. I'm like, just hug your fucking kids. For the love of God. Yeah.
Like 5 seconds. He's like, what do I do with these? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Move them
I
forward.
know not what do you want from me? I love that, again, this whole season is painting me a lovely panoramic portrait of grayscale.
Yeah, it's humanizing a lot of people, though. Oh, yeah, your grayscale. Yeah,
yes,
you got
my grayscale obsession.
Like, okay. More hints, though, huh? All the people who suffer from grayscale are sent to Volantis to live with the Stone Men. Now, who are the Stone Men? I don't know.
Well,
you don't know.
Well, yeah. I don't know. You probably know, but I don't know. Also, that it's like a contact conjunctivitis. It's like pink eye.
Yeah.
You just like a contact contagion. It can
sit on a surface for a while.
So yeah, I'm slowly piecing together. Like I'm sucking up all my tasty tidbits that they're giving me here.
Your grayscale info.
Yeah, my grayscale info. But I think that's why the end of this episode was so traumatic for me, because we had so many just like heartfelt, cute moments. We got these really interesting little snippets of backstory with multiple people.
Littlefinger.
Yeah, we got some Littlefinger backstory. We got a lot of the Mad King.
Yeah, we got some info, and Sansa learned a little bit about her family, and got, one more dirty old man kiss before she goes off to marry Psycho Boy. I was really afraid they were taking it further. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was like, please, can we not? Can we not? I was riding my high of Stannis and his daughter's like adorable little moment. It's like, please don't ruin that by making me want to vomit right now.
Yeah, now the question though, is Littlefinger going to go down, yeah, there we go, directionally to King's Landing. And I wonder, is he going to try and set the way for Stannis, or is he actually working for Dragon Mama? Dun, dun, dun.
You so want him to be working for Dragon Mama. This is the second time this has come up.
I love the idea, and this isn't a spoiler or anything. None of this has come up in the books.
This is his personal preference.
Me thinking that it would be great if Littlefinger was such the ultimate planner that he's helping overthrow everybody systematically to make way for Daenerys Targaryen. That would be great.
Littlefinger's making way for Littlefinger. I really hate to break it to you.
No. That in the end result will most likely be that. I just like the idea of him being even more clever than anyone had anticipated.
Well, here's the thing, though. We have to remember that it was Cersei who summoned him down there. She's already had him tear shit out of his brothel. And we don't know that the person of power that she was talking about that deserved to be knocked down a peg was actually Loras. I thought she was talking about Littlefinger, and then it was like, oh shit, he's not here yet.
Yeah, I think that she really believes that he's still in pocket. I really think that. Because she's pretty much, she's a narcissist. And I don't think she believes that Littlefinger would dare move against her after all she's done for him.
This is one where I'm going to blatantly disagree with you. I think that between Lysa's death, him moving in the Eyrie, he's making plans to marry Sansa. He has Sansa. Cersei ain't forgiven Sansa for what she thinks she did. Yet. Does she or doesn't she, though? Because the Boltons know about Sansa. He read the note that Cersei sent. So, who's going to get to King's Landing first? House Bolton's information? Because they're still playing their Lannister alliance. Or Littlefinger. And I think that's going to be the crucial turning point.
Yeah, we'll find out. I think that no one's going to know that she exists until the wedding. Personally. I don't think the official announcement's going to be made until she marries Bolton. And then the word will go south to King's Landing. Like, hey, by the way, we found Sansa. Now she's under our control.
Yeah, but that, again, like, I just, I do not have high hopes for Littlefinger in this. And I feel that's part why we learned a lot of his greater agenda this episode. This is totally me speculating. Yeah,
well, we'll find out. This is a good one. This should unfold this season. So one of us will be right by the end of the season.
Yeah, somebody's getting a point.
But speaking of one more, nice moment was Daenerys kind of finding out a little bit about her oldest brother, Rhaegar. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And then, everyone got stabbed.
And then we're just not even. I'm not there yet.
It comes full circle.
Yeah, here we are. 25 minutes later, whatever. We've come around. Also, just throwing out there, I loved their fake names for Braun and Jamie.
Darnell.
I was like, Darnell and Cooper. Doesn't that sound like some 70s buddy cop show?
Cooper, you're a loose cannon.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it, Darnell. I told you not to tell me what to do anymore.
No, that was fun. But I really liked the stories of, all the Targaryen families that we got eked out here in the tournament, and, how Rhaegar preferred music over fighting. And
such a stark such a stark contrast. That was unintentional. I apologize. Full ends of the spectrum there. Where it's like, he ran off with my aunt and then, raped her. And then versely, he used to sing to the peasants on the street corner.
And that shows how important perception is. So anyhow, the stories was really a nice touch. But I do feel that by ending the episode with, revolution, anger, discord, violence, however you want to put it. Thank God this wasn't the Memorial Day break.
Oh, yeah. No, that's going to be even worse. To be
completely honest, this was the most shocked I've been since the Red Wedding.
Nope, this is the most shocked I've been since Oberyn got his face smashed in.
Well,
actually, that was more, on my scale, if that's my 10, which it is, I would say this is about an 8.
See, I think I finished the novels. I'd finished the third novel by that point, so I saw, I knew it was coming. Now that this, again, deviated from the books, so it was a shocker to every single person who watched it tonight.
Yep.
Because that is definitely one way to pull Daenerys away. If you just murdered off 2 of her most trusted voices, and the leader of the Unsullied.
Yeah. What about my ship?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about,
the Lady in Waiting.
Yeah. My translator girl. Oh.
She was gonna hug Grey Worm to sleep.
Yeah, he was just gonna nestle the back of his head right in her boobies every night. It was gonna be beautiful. Now it's all over.
And on that note, we hope all of you readers have a cartoon or a website that cheers you up, because if you watch this episode, then you're most likely as sad as we are. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to go look at funny pictures of kittens doing cute things for about half an hour before I go to bed.
I know. I need some cuteness overload. In the grand scheme of things, this, I really genuinely feel like this is going to take me where I want her to be, which is vengeful, pissed off, and burninating the countryside. Come on.
If that doesn't do it, I don't know what would.
Yeah. If this doesn't do that, then frankly, I'm going to fast forward through every little bit of her storyline for the rest of the damn season.
Well, on a brighter note, I think that this was a well-shot episode, a very, very well-put-together episode. Other than a few complaints, like making the Unsullied go full stupid and forget all their training to get it to happen, they had the effect that I think they wanted to get on their viewers. The last 2 episodes of... actually, this episode and episode 2. Last episode was paced, like we both agreed, it felt like forever because it was so critical.
But it was a good episode.
It was, but I'm hoping more of the episodes this season have the same pacing as 2 and 4.
Maybe that's what it's going to be. It's going to be evens and odds. We'll see.
No, we'll find out next week. That should put a nail in the coffin in terms of pacing, huh?
Yep, we'll know where it's going. So, Stannis v. Bolton. Place your bets now.
Ooh, I'm going to go Stannis.
I'm going to go Stannis just because I'm still not 100% on... Oh my god, wait. Wait. What if Red Witch Bitch gets flayed alive by Ramsay?
That would be the happiest day of your life, and you'd use that for the whole screen cap for the whole episode, wouldn't you?
Yep, yet again, I'm torn between what I want to see and what's realistic.
Well, the whole point of enjoying a show is hoping it shows you what you want to see. Nothing wrong with that.
And I've laid out my very disturbing guidelines of what I want to see. I want to see Dragon Mama burn shit out of everybody. I want to see Red Bitch flayed alive. Like,
Did you see that in your fires, huh? Did you?
Yeah. Did you see that one coming? Did you know? Oh. Yeah, so I clearly am very traumatized and upset by this episode and should probably call a therapist at some point this week to discuss some of these issues for needing to see people be maimed.
Yep. Thanks for listening, everybody.
That's all, folks.
Take our Valium for next week.
Yep, get your Xanax ready and we'll be here next week. So with that said, this has been Cat and Pappy explaining to you Sons of the Harpy. If you enjoyed us, give us a like and a subscribbles on the YouTubes. If you prefer just the sultry sounds of our voices, you can download every episode on our website, scrumptiousunscripted.com.
Yeah, listen to me all you want.
Yeah, that was great.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.